Hello everybody, it's Region 4 Outreach and Communications Coordinator Matt Cameron, and today on Drop the Tailgate I am in the North Cumberland WMA. I'm with Joel Hyden, who is an OHV officer up here, and we're going to look for a little seng. And for those of you who don't know what that is ginseng, and I'll be honest with you, I've never dug the first root, so I'm excited to be up here and to learn. I had to be blindfolded to get to this exact location, so I have no idea where I'm at. All I can tell you is we're still on the WMA, and Joel's going to tell us about the legalities of digging ginseng on WMA. We're going to get that out of the way first so you know what you're allowed to do if it's something you decide to come up here and do. And we're going to talk about it on private property just a little bit. But Joel, thanks for being on the show.
Yes, sir.
What's the big deal with ginseng?
Most of the ginseng that's dug and harvested here in America is sent to Asia. They use it in all kinds of medicines, aphrodisiac, any kind of potion they can come up with, they'll use ginseng in it.
Cure-all.
Yeah, cure-all for everything.
Do you take it personally?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
I don't know what the benefits of it. I've taken it, but I don't really know that it did anything.
Yeah.
When it's in supplements, that I take, it'll have it listed as an ingredient.
Yeah.
So what got you into this in the first place?
I actually found out that my family, both of my papaws were coal miners in southeast Kentucky, and so apparently it was in my blood already. I just didn't know it, and it's brought it out up here working on the WMA.
Okay, so you've made several cases on illegal.
Several cases, yeah. I really enjoy catching those guys. I don't have a whole lot of patience for it because people don't realize or think about what they're doing, that they're destroying a natural resource. Anytime you put a dollar amount on a natural resource, there's all kinds of incentives for people to do the wrong thing. And it's becoming rarer all the time, and I want to do my part to conserve that resource.
To dig ginseng on North Cumberland WMA, what is required?
Okay. Particularly on the North Cumberland Wildlife Management Area, there's not a ginseng permit per se that you have to have. To be legal up here on North Cumberland, what you have to have is either a hunting fishing license and a WMA permit, or a high impact conservation permit. One person per vehicle has got to have that permit. So in other words, you could have 5 people in this vehicle right here, as long as one of them has those licenses that I just mentioned. Okay. You're legal to be on the area.
So there's no special ginseng permit, in other words.
There is not. And let me also mention, Matt, that on all the other WMAs in the state, besides North Cumberland, you cannot dig ginseng. There's no open season. The only exceptions to that are here on North Cumberland, where there is a season September 1st through December 31st. The other one, Cherokee National Forest. That's a wildlife management area that the state manages, that the feds actually own. And you do have to have a certain permit from Cherokee National Forest to dig there.
It's on private ground as well. If you've got the right conditions, it'll grow.
Right.
And it is unfortunately a very poached plant.
So get permission from private landowners if you're going to dig on private property. We're going to only dig, it's actually state law to only dig 3-prong or above, and I'll show you later what 3-prong is and a 4-prong and that type of thing.
Okay.
So the ginseng has to get to a certain age to where it's producing berries and the seeds to be able to plant back. And what we're going to do today, we're only going to dig mature plants and put the seeds back in the ground right where we take a root out. So in other words, it's sustainable.
Okay. And is it a law that you have to put the berries back in the ground?
You do. Some of the laws that you need to keep in mind when you're digging ginseng, of course the season starting September 1st, but it needs to be, in the state of Tennessee, it needs to be 3-prong or bigger. Okay. Also, the red berries that are on it, you need to plant, it says that you have to plant them back right in the same area that you dug the root. Also, it mentions not to dig plants that have green berries on them because they've not had a chance to ripen to where you can put them back in the ground, they'll grow.
So we got somebody going with us.
We do.
To dig today. Who do we have with us?
We have Michelle with us today. She is one of the best ginseng spotters I've ever met in my life. She didn't know anything about ginseng until about 3 years ago, and she came with me one time and she fell in love with it too. And it's like a giant Easter egg hunt. You're looking for something and you just get excited when you find some. So Michelle's going to come help us find some ginseng today.
All right, we're looking for the prize egg. You ready to get out? Show what we find?
Let's get after it, man.
All right.
Yeah, we are. All right, Matt, we finally made it to where we're going. You can take that mask off. We'll get more of it here in a little while, but this is the north-facing slope. And see the great big poplars on it. It's kind of damp yet not too wet. This is the kind of ridge that you're looking for right here. Great big poplars. You don't want to be where there's a bunch of dry oaks on top of the ridge. You kind of want to be on this side slope facing the north. I'll show you some sister plants here in just a minute.
You know, Tennessee hill country, I mean, we got some steep ground. And
she's already found one.
My goodness.
We may just have to stop right here, Matt, and check this whole area out. Where's it at, Michelle? Oh yeah, see the red on it, Matt? You pick it out?
Yes, sir.
Good deal.
Okay.
That's a legal plant right there if she's 3 prongs or bigger.
All right, how many prongs?
Let me show you what a prong.
Like 3 to 10.
Yeah, let me show you what a prong is. It's actually a 4 prong. I'll move this out of the way for you. All right, that's a 4 prong with the red berries in the middle.
Yes.
Each one of these is called a prong. See, that's a prong right there. Then that's a prong, and then your 2 other ones.
Okay.
Each prong, we generally have 5 leaves on it. And the way I try to find them, if there's no red berries or if it's already, you know, dying out or whatever, can't find it because it's gold, you have to just look for the plant pattern. There'll be 3 bigger leaves facing out and 2 smaller leaves facing back in towards the stem on each prong. You can see where a berry's already fell off right there. That's how they reproduce naturally. The berries will just fall off, or a bird will come along and get that berry and then drop it back out somewhere else. That's how they reproduce. All right, we're gonna dig that 4 prong that Michelle just found. A lot of guys use mattocks. I've seen people use screwdrivers, sticks, just whatever they have handy. I like a shovel up here. The ground's not too hard, and I just pop it up out of the ground, and it's easy to get that way. She found another one right there. We need to just look at this whole area, Matt. We may not have to go way back.
Gotcha. Even better.
What I like to do, Matt, to start with is take those berries off of it. Just collect them in your hand and set them aside somewhere, because after we dig that ginseng right there, we're going to put most of the berries right back where we dug that fruit at. I like to get above it. If I can stand there, find the stem, and then get above it and just pop it up out of the ground. I'll show you what a 4-prong root looks like here. Simple as that. And once I've popped it up, it's kind of easy just to break the dirt up and see what you got. That's actually a pretty nice root. And you try, when you're digging it, you don't want to break all these little feeder roots off, the hairline roots. You want to keep all those, because when you go to sell it, the quality, you'll get a lot more money if you keep all these hairline roots on it. Okay. This is the neck on the ginseng. Each one of these rings represents a year that it has sent a stem up.
Wow.
So that root right there is probably somewhere between 15 and 20 years old.
And that's not a great big...
That's not a monster root, but it's still a nice one.
That's a nice root. And the plant's small, so the top, what's above the ground, doesn't necessarily indicate age.
That's correct. So that's a legal plant right there, and that's the first one of the day, Matt, right off the bat. So I'll try to kind of put the dirt right back where it was at. Now, some people kind of think that maybe the seeds will rot if you put them too deep, so I wouldn't put them deep at all.
Okay.
I'll generally do what nature does. They just drop them in spots there and kind of put leaves and stuff back on top of that.
Okay, so they don't need to be buried necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Just contact with the soil.
Exactly. I mean, if you're gonna put them down in the soil at all, just barely put them in there and cover them up like that.
So just like the plant would have dropped it
exactly
right on the leaf litter, and then here the fall's coming, more leaves would fall on top of that, right?
That's right. And generally it takes at least 2 years for that seed to come back up. It's just a quirk of ginseng. They don't come up the first year, so 2 years from now, a little plant more than likely will. And once you run into a patch, you kind of get excited, because generally when there's one plant, there's going to be several.
Okay.
All right. They're not monsters, Matt. They're gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
That's good for filming.
1, 2, 3. Is that a 4-prong right there?
4 prong, 3 prong.
Yep.
And a baby 3 underneath.
Yep, that's a 3-prong there. You can see the difference.
That's a legal plant as well.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
And here's what the babies look like.
Okay, this is good.
All right, here's where this one in years past had dropped his berries off right below, and here's 4 baby ginseng plants that's come up right below it.
Perfect example of natural reproduction right
Exactly.
there.
That's what you want to see right there.
And so in a few years, those will grow up and be legal.
Absolutely. And if you're digging this and you accidentally dig one of those up, just put it right back in the ground and cover it up with dirt, and it'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
Come back up the next year.
Gotcha.
Sometimes you may have to go on the other side, but I believe you've got it unpopped there. You can probably use your hands now, Matt, and then just kind of break the dirt away from it without damaging your ginseng root. There you go. Let's hold it up. Now, something else I forgot to tell you, Matt. Some of the old boys up in Kentucky, when they find a ginseng root, you're supposed to howl like a hound dog. You're supposed to bow. Anytime you find one, you're supposed to do that. Let's hear you howl. There you go. Good job.
We all got a little smoky dog in us.
Exactly.
All right.
There you go. Good job, Matt.
So
We'll put those berries right back.
I'll let you do the rest.
Yes, sir.
There's stuff to me that reminds me of ginseng, and one of them is Virginia creeper.
Absolutely.
And I always look at that and think, is that ginseng? It's not. Then I see the vine growing. So
Yeah. You'll think that's ginseng. Buckeye is another one.
okay.
Sometimes a little hickory tree that's only 6 or 8 inches high will look just like ginseng as well. So
Gotcha.
there's 7 or 8 plants that will fool you. So you kind of got to get an eye for it. All right, Matt and Michelle have found some red berries here that they thought might have been ginseng from a distance. But when you look at it, that's a different kind of plant right there with the red berries on it. That's false Solomon seal, and that's actually a companion plant to ginseng. So when you find false Solomon seal, you should find ginseng in this same area.
Okay.
That's a cohosh. That's definitely a sister plant of ginseng. You find this right here on the north facing slope. There's definitely ginseng here, unless somebody's poached it all out.
Talking about how it's got the little black on the white,
Yeah.
the eye,
Gosh, it does. That's doll's eye.
doll's eye.
Okay, like a baby doll.
I reckon so.
Okay. Another companion plant to ginseng.
Now see, it's starting to get the color.
Yeah.
Okay, it's turning golden.
Starting to. Hold him back out of the way where you can see it. Look at all the babies under it too. And then the gold color. When it gets a few more weeks from now, the whole plant will be that bright gold, and they stand out. You can see them from 50 feet away.
Yeah, I've been standing right on top of it before and still couldn't see it.
Always tripped me up too in the beginning.
What'd I say? Standing right on top of it and still don't see it. Is that two?
Yeah.
2-prong? Okay. Good find though.
When you find them and their stem is a little bit bigger and real stiff like a pencil,
Yes.
then that's a lot better plant. You're going to have a better root when you dig that one up. That's a nice root.
Yes, sir.
You got twice the root there that we've had on any of those. Look how big the neck is.
I found one.
Good job, Matt. Did I hear you howl?
You did, brother.
Man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Good job,
It'll
bro.
work. Looks like the stem's pretty thick on it. See? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
3 prongs, right?
Very nice plant.
You did.
What are you supposed to do? Let's hear it.
Got one tree.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, it ain't that big, but it's a fat one.
That's a pretty one.
All right.
That's a pretty one, Matt.
Hey, I'll take it for my first find there.
Good deal.
Right here, man. Look at this.
Find another one.
Oh, yeah.
See right here what he's found. Pretty plant. Shake it out. That's a nice root.
Hey, that's better than the last one.
That's a real nice root.
Good deal. I think we made enough gas money that we could get back home.
Matt, I believe we've made our gas money back and our lunch money, and we might have made $10.
Shoot, we in the money.
Split $10 3 ways. Fine, son? Cool. Matt's found 3 right here where we found all ours the other day.
I finally feel like I can sit at the adult table at Thanksgiving dinner now. Oh, I'm fired up.
You're hooked.
Yeah, I may not even go home today. I saw a little salamander ducking in here.
Little orange one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there he is. Do you know anything about him?
I don't. That's
Pretty.
it is gorgeous.
We'll have to hit Chris Ogle up. He'll be able to
Yeah,
tell us
Chris
all
Ogle will
about
know
these
all
things.
about that. Yeah, see right here with the greenberry, legally in Tennessee you can't dig that root because
Okay.
if it's a greenberry we're going to leave it.
Berry's not right.
Yep, we're going to leave that till next year.
Okay.
Full observance.
Dude.
Yeah, see, sometimes when you're digging on them, you
Those
might
raw meat.
accidentally tear off the fibers and root fibers and stuff.
Right.
Even though that's an older root, somewhere in the 15 to 20 year old range, it's been damaged in the digging process, so
Okay.
you're not going to get.
So it's been nicked right there too.
Yep, you're not going to get top dollar out of that root.
Okay.
What you might do, you got 2 or 3 options. You could put it back in the ground and it probably come back up again. Or you could take it home and use it for personal use if there was some kind of thing that you want to look on the internet of how to make something, some kind of tea or some kind of extract. You could do that. Or you could just put it in with the rest of your roots and try to sell it and hope the person buying it don't say a whole lot about it.
Okay.
Yep,
But it's still got some value to it.
exactly.
Man, that was a hike, dude.
Man, I'm about wore out.
Let's get in that backpack and let's see how we did today.
10-4. Several good ones in there.
Yeah, man. So you sell it dry?
You want to rinse it under the sink water is what I do. Actually, you can let it set in a bowl of water for a couple hours to where it kind of loosens up the dirt. But then run it under the faucet and just rub your fingers real light to get that dirt off of there. Rub it real light. You don't want the dry ginseng, you do not want it to be slick and white. You want it to be a little bit yellow looking. When it dries, it's going to kind of turn yellow. So you want a little bit of that color still left on there. Do not scrape it so much that skin comes off of there and it turns white. That's the wrong thing to do. Okay. Nobody's going to want it. It's not going to be worth a dime.
Okay, so they want to see these lines in it.
Yep.
And that shows it's wild grown.
Yep.
As opposed to cultivated.
Right. The wild like this will have those rings in it. Those are called stress rings, where it's pushing down into the soil on its own without it being in cultivated ground. The cultivated ginseng, I have heard the prices are only around like $30 or $40 per dried pound, versus wild American ginseng can go up generally $700, $800 a pound nearly every year. It has gone as high as $1,200 a year about 7 or 8 years ago.
Good grief. Okay, so poundage wise, if that was dry, how much you got right there?
That right there, dried, maybe an ounce dried. So you're looking at about $50 dried right there. So we didn't make the bank today, but we made enough to pay for our gas and pay for our dinner, and made a little bit extra and had fun doing it. And that's really why I do it. If you were doing this to make a living or make a lot of extra money, you might as well go get a job. You'd be way better off to get a job.
When you get it, when you're done at the end of the season and it's dried out and you're ready to sell it, where does a person go to sell it?
Okay, there are licensed dealers in the state of Tennessee that actually bought a license to be a dealer. So generally you'll see advertisements on signs in towns and stuff, or you could probably call T-Deck and get a list of buyers.
Anything else you want to say about hunting seng?
No, that's about it. I will say that the shows on TV kind of romanticize it and make it look like you're going to make $10,000 in a week and that kind of thing. And guys, there may be a place or two that's got that kind of seng, but it's most places, especially on public land, you're not going to find that much ginseng. I mean, you might run into a good patch here and there, but generally in a half a day, this is probably what you're going to find.
Okay. Thanks for bringing me way back in here in the remote areas of North Cumberland.
Yes, sir.
Honest to God, if I had to get out of here right now and find my own way home, it'd probably be a long night.
It
to be
would.
honest with you.
It would.
All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Drop the Tailgate, and tune in next time for some more fun in the Tennessee Great Outdoors. You ready to get out of here?
We're ready to go. Matt, you've got to put your blindfold back on or we'll make it out of here.
You want me to check my pockets too before I go? Make sure I ain't got it?
Nah, you good, man.
All right, man. I need somebody to put me in this thing, though. All right.
Where you going?
Hope you had a good time.
What? Come on! No!